Back in the house is James Dodkins. James, from all the way over in the UK, is going to talk to us about his new book, 136 Ideas for Rockstar Employee Engagement. It just came out recently. You can get it on Amazon.com. This is a great book, and who doesn't want rockstar employee engagement? Because what's happening on the inside of a company is going to be felt on the outside by the customer. You may remember James was on here before. We were talking about all types of things related to the culture of what's happening inside a company, and he's going to tell us all about this book and talk about the rockstar thing, and he is a rockstar, by the way. We talked about that last time we had a chance to chat after the interview. We really had a lot in common. All right, James, welcome to Amazing Business Radio again.
Thank you for having me back, man. Thank you very much.
It's great to be here. So we did find out we had in common that we are, well, you're probably more of a rock star than I am, but maybe one day I will be a rock star. I mean, a real rock star. I want to play in front of a lot of people.
Everyone can be a rock star.
Everyone of thousands of people.
In whatever they do. I mean, not everyone can do that necessarily. Mm-hmm. but everyone can be a metaphorical rock star, which is almost as good.
I think everybody has their special thing they do. Some call it the superpower, but I call it, why don't we just call it today, moving forward, the rock star mentality. Everybody has something they do really, really well that everybody's really impressed with. So tell us about this rock star thing.
Well, so, I mean, I won't go into like loads and loads of detail about it, but basically, this is something I used to not tell people. Okay, I was not necessarily embarrassed by it, but I used to think that people would probably judge me in a particular way if they knew that I had this secret, sordid past. So basically, I used to play guitar in a heavy metal band. We toured the world. We released albums. We were in magazines. We had a video on TV. Admittedly, it was a very obscure heavy metal TV channel that maybe only 3 people ever watched, but still, it was a video on TV. And yeah, so I did that for a big percentage of my life. We started the band when we were 15. We were just a group of friends messing around. We got spotted. Things got a bit serious. I released my first album at 17, and things went up from there. Things fell apart, as inevitably things do. And I went into the corporate world, but I had this idea that I had to leave that behind me. I had to sort of close the door on that chapter of my life. And so, you know, suit and tie every day, acted in a particular way, and after a while, it worked.
So you acted in a particular way. I just want to say you acted because it wasn't naturally you to do so?
No, it wasn't at all. And I became... I mean, it worked because I became someone who was basically unrecognizable to myself. Like, when I looked at myself and who I was and what I was doing, I was like, who is this guy? That's not me. And so basically, at the end of the day, I figured out, okay, 2 things in this world that I am particularly good at was 1, being a rock star, and 2, customer experience. So why not put these things together? Why not help companies deliver a rock star customer experience? Because that is something that I'm pretty good at doing. So, yeah, that's kind of how it came about.
Well, so now we understand the rockstar story, but we don't understand, where did the customer experience story come from? What made you interested in that? I mean, people ask me this all the time because that's what I am, customer service experience expert. And, well, how did you get started in customer service? So how did you decide, aside from being a rock star, customer experience was your thing?
Well, by accident, really. There was no grand plan. I sort of fell into it. So after the music thing, I started working for an insurance company. So I thought, well, what's the logical next step after being an international rock god? I thought, yeah, well, I know, I'll go work for an insurance company. That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, of course. So I was working for an insurance company, working my way up the ranks. And I think it was kind of a combination of things. The thing that made me do particularly well at this company is the fact that I had no corporate background and I had no insurance background. The only way I could think about the work that I did on a day-to-day basis was like a customer, because that's the only experience I had of that.
Right.
So it made me
look at perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So and that's what I've tried to do, no matter what I've learned, no matter where I've worked, is always to try and keep that almost naive innocence about it, and try not to overcomplicate things, and just look at things as if you were the customer. Try and put yourself in the customer's shoes, which sounds so simple, so foundational, so bare bones, like first step of the ladder, but it works. And I think that's where a lot of people do lose people. They try and overcomplicate things. They try and create very fancy methods and fancy frameworks to put things in. But at the end of the day, if you just think like the customer and encourage other people to do the same, you get really, really good at customer service and customer experience.